is that what, so when you're talking about art, is it pure vision boards, or is it picking up a paintbrush and with paint, or is it with pens or
Everything.
pencils or crayons, or what is it?
It's chaos. It's carnage. That's what it is.
Welcome to the Bishop Stortford Community Podcast, the show where we shine a light on the incredible businesses, community leaders, and local legends shaping our town. I'm your host, James O'Donnell, and today we are joined by Chrystal Barry. Chrystal, great to have you on the show.
Hi.
Hello. For those of us who don't know you and what you do, who are you and what do you do here in Bishop Stortford?
So my journey is a little bit different to everybody else's because I'm only just starting out, really. I've dabbled in a bit of art and a few little workshops and things like that. But recently I've done a class for vision boards and mood boards with teenagers at Routes to Success in Stansted. So yeah, I wanted to make my art kind of mean something. So rather than just painting for fun, where I started, I wanted to help others to take away the anxiety and have something to focus on for a couple of hours that isn't anything in the world. It's just whatever you want it to be. So yeah, that's where I'm at the minute, and still doing art and workshops. We're currently doing one in town today. So in about 2 hours in Jackson Square, there'll be art everywhere. So and a workshop for vision boards as well, which we've got people coming to. So yeah, it's cool.
Awesome. So is this journey from you were doing art for yourself at home and then you showed it to someone? What's happened?
So back in 2019, I lost my son to SIDS. Literally, he was nearly 7 months old. And after that, we had COVID. We were stuck at home. It was horrendous. So really, really painful. And I didn't really have anything to kind of focus energy into for quite a few years. People go to therapy, people can have counselling, some people that works for them, and it didn't work for me. So I one day picked up a paintbrush because I wanted to paint a picture that I'd seen from my home office. I was working at the time at home, stuck there. So then I painted and just realised how therapeutic it was. It's just you and paint, and you just turning it into whatever you want it to be. So that's where it started, really. And then that passed down to my daughter as well, who's another artist, the local one in town. And she had a really terrible journey. She just couldn't do school. She wasn't fit. By that point, she was in secondary school going into year 8 or 9. And there was a lot of children with anxiety because of COVID. Nobody wanted to go back to school anyway. And obviously she'd been through quite a lot. So that then spiraled down to her. And that's why I want to pass it on to other children. Not necessarily children, because I don't think it's just children, it's adults too. Just having that little kind of, it's therapy, but without being labelled. Because you're sat there, you're talking, you're nattering. When we went to Stansted and we done it, the kids were telling me so many stories of how they're feeling. Some of them were at school, some of them are not. Some of them, their parents had split up. But I learned so much about each and every. They were talking to each other as well, but there was no therapy. You was just talking and chilling out. So yeah, I love that so much.
There's so many elements there, but I'm just thinking though, like, if you're sitting doing art as a group,
yeah,
you're all kind of working on something, but then as you say, you start nattering. So different to as a group of people sitting around on their phones,
100%,
maybe kind of going, every 30 seconds
looking
or so,
at TikTok.
because they see something that makes them laugh, and someone goes, "What was it?" And they go, "Oh, nothing." Whereas if you're sitting there doing art, you actually, you're going to be more expressive. You're opening up that bit of your brain that wants to, experiment.
Yeah, to create and just taking away the kind of, you don't think about things that are going on around, like outside of where you are at that moment, just for a little while sometimes. But that's the reason I've done vision boards and mood boards, because you're not focusing on. So my classes are a little bit different, and I know structured classes are great. Like you go in and you paint. If he does some amazing classes, I've done one. If we painted like a coconut tree and things like that, and you're all putting into your painting, you have to kind of focus a bit because you want it to look good at the end. Whereas if it's a vision board or a mood board, all about you. Like one person had, they wanted to travel. One of the teenagers, they wanted to travel. So a lot of it was all about holidays, like just cutting things up. You don't have to be good at art. You can just cut things up, stick words that stick out to you from magazines, that kind of thing. Pictures that mean something to you. Like mine's handstands. So I've got an upside down person on mine, like gym things, whereas theirs were completely different. And then at the end, when we put them all together, our visions and everything were just so different, but the art was still there for everyone, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So is that what, so when you're talking about art, is it pure vision boards, or is it picking up a paintbrush and with paint, or is it with pens or
Everything.
pencils or crayons, or what is it?
It's chaos. It's carnage. That's what it is. I'll take some pictures today, but and I've got pictures on my Instagram of Steve's salon by the time we finished. I want them to be able to have the option to choose any of those. And also, you know, a lot of parents and black people, you can't make a mess. You need to keep it kind of tidy. So when I do mine, I'm like, just throw it everywhere, mess it all up. It's bad for me at the end because I have to sort it all out. But you get stickers, there's paintbrushes, pens, crayons. I even have brush powders, but they're like pigment powders. So I do have to limit where I put those because I don't want to ruin anyone's property, obviously. So there's, lots of experimenting and just picking out the things that you want. You might have wanted to try acrylic pens, acrylic paints or something like that before, and just having the option to choose anything really. So it's very busy. That's the word. Busy. That's and nice. Carnage.
It's good to give people permission to just kind of like go for it.
Do it. Do whatever you want.
Because we're otherwise we're kind of, you know, caught on tenterhooks.
In the beginning, and that session I done, they was all kind of sitting around, and I was putting things out. Oh, they was already out, but at first they was a bit like, oh, I'll get a magazine and I'll get a sticker. And then as soon as I sort of threw things in the middle of the room, they were like, oh, she really means it. You can just chuck anything anywhere. So there was honestly the clippings and the cut out bits of paper took me about 20 minutes to sweep it all up. It was everywhere. But
fantastic.
It's fun. And that shows me that they've got involved and enjoyed it.
Yeah. So who at the moment are you targeting for the events that you're putting on?
At the minute, really, for that, I really enjoyed that kind of I think teenagers, again, for my daughter, she had not nowhere to go. There is a lot going on in Bishop Stortford. Once you start looking for it, I think you realise there's a lot more, as you're doing. There's a lot more around than you actually realise. But for me, I think people that are struggling or kind of maybe want to meet some new people. So it doesn't necessarily have to be teenagers. And I could do adult ones and, you know, teenage ones, children ones. I've done like young children classes before as well, just when we've been in Jackson Square. But really, for me, the main bit that really helped me was the teenage classes with anxiety, that struggling at school or just want to be away from the world that they're in at the minute, just take themselves away for a bit. Or the mums and dads might realise that they're not quite themselves at the minute. Maybe try a workshop and see if you get on with it. If you don't like it, you can just leave. And I also said that because obviously Roots to Success and Steve, they work with children that are struggling anyway. So we didn't want it to be stressful. I'm like, if you decide after 10 minutes you really don't want to be there, I'm not offended. You can get picked up. You've got your phones. They're teenagers, they've got their phones, but you want to call your mum and dad and you need to go home, then that's fine. Just absolutely, that's probably my target. Not target, I don't want to say that because that's horrible, but that's the kind of people that I hope to inspire or help.
Yeah. And you're doing it with Steve over at Roots to Success, and you're doing some work at Jackson Square at the moment. Is there where can people find you to book you or, you know, is there a place where you're looking to set up?
So obviously I've only done one, so I'm very new to this. One proper one, and this will be my second. My Instagram is where I will put most of my things in. It's handstands and Haribo. It's me. I love handstands and Haribo. But I will probably, again, with ArtVibe and with Steve, set up a new class as January comes in. That's probably my new, get Christmas out of the way because it's absolute chaos as always, and then start booking in some actual workshops that are accessible to everybody locally. I think I'll probably do them in like community hall, like Tesco's or somewhere where you can drop off easily and pick up easily, because although town's great, sometimes it's difficult to get to certain places. So I'll have a look around, but it'll be in Bishop Stortford and they'll be locally, and I'm definitely going to try and get some booked in with Steve and on ArtVibe too when we do events.
Wonderful. Well, when you have those events coming up, let me know so I can share them on the community page on Facebook, so we can get other people along. And maybe there's going to be other groups that I talk to that can kind of refer people into it, because it does sound like a lot of fun.
And it's January coming up as well, so it's the best time. So another bit of my journey, last year I went to Trinity Church, New Year's Day with John. I don't know, I feel like you know everybody, but you obviously don't. But John Clark, he was one of the guys. He was homeless and a recovering addict, and he invited me down there to do art or boards, whatever. We just went down there with no kind of plan as such, but it ended up being vision boards. So I spent a lot of time with all of those guys there, and we were just, again, taking ourselves away from everything around us just for a couple of hours. That's where I started mine. I'd done mine last year, and my goal was to get a handstand push-up, and I stuck to it, and I'm still doing it, and I've done it in 98 days. So I had to consistently stick there every day and make my vision board like come to life. And these workshops that was also on there, so they work.
So just so I understand this, so you made a vision board January the 1st, 2025, and on there in Trinity Church, you put an upside down person on to say,
that's this year's. That's my new goal. I'm making this year.
But you wanted to do a handstand.
I had a big thing, and it said, "It's in the town at the minute. Be afraid, but do it anyway." So I was scared to. I was sat on a treadmill thing for like 7-8 months. I was just, running. It was boring. I lost a bit of weight, man, but I was boring. And I watched other people. There's a lady called Tiffany at Grange Paddocks. She walked in. She's a PT, Tiffany Willis. She walked in, and I was like, "Whoa, that girl is Jax. She's awesome." And she walked straight past all the men and was doing like these heavy weights and stuff. And I was like, "Oh, I just want to be like that. I want to not be scared to try something," because I wasn't very good at it. I was terrible, but I did. So every day I would step in a little bit more and make myself kind of push myself away from the treadmill and do my half rep chin-ups, which were terrible. But again, I stuck to that from May to December, and then, progressed. But it took baby steps. And I think that's kind of what these are all about as well. Little baby steps to try and put yourself out there. And if you stick to it and you're consistent and you really do want it, you can make your visions work. Not with everything, but some stuff.
That's awesome. Look, I follow you along on Instagram, and it's inspiring to me to see the handstands that you're throwing out now. And considering you couldn't do them before, and now you're throwing them around. I think that's one of the things with the gym. In a past life, I used to be a PT, and you don't want it to be boring. You want it to be fun. Like the way I look at a gym is, think of it as like an adult playground. Yeah, exactly. 100%. Well, you should be doing things there which are fun for you, which are, challenge you. It's like the way that kids turn up to a playground and they go, "Oh, I'm going to climb this thing, or I'm going to, get on top of this and climb over this." They can't always do it, and they fall off and they cry and all that stuff, but they keep going.
They get back up. 100%.
Exactly. And it's that attitude you want to have when you're going to the gym. If you're finding it boring, find something that
you enjoy.
Exactly, enjoy, or is a challenge that you don't think you could do, and trust me, you can work towards it.
Exactly. I 100% agree with that. And I say it's like a playground all the time. I would be trying new things, random tricks. I look like a plonker, fall on my face. But it took a long time to get there, though. The gym, I remember thinking, like, some people, like, everybody's so great, like in their own little thing. But once you're into it, there's actually like a big community behind it. And I've learned so much, and I talked to so many people. And there was a lady this morning, she'd done a high rocks at the weekend. Again, they're all connected. Haley from Jackson Square and her husband, and they're all connected. But she's 52, I think, and she used to be 30 stone. And I was like, wow, you do. And I would never have known that about you. But just talking and listening to people's stories that we've all, I've bonded with so many people.
That's fantastic. Listen, if anybody's watching this and they are not following your handstand journey on Instagram, it's well worth checking out. I'll put the links in the show notes anyway, but go and follow it. It's inspiring. it really is. All right, Chrystal, are you ready for some Stortford Spotlight questions?
Yes.
You are. Fantastic. This episode is brought to you by It's a Wash Thing. They're a local home-based laundry service here in Bishop Stortford for busy families who just want one less thing to think about. Free pickup and delivery, eco and non-bio washes, and everything comes back clean, folded, and actually sorted properly. If laundry is one of those jobs that quietly drains your energy, It's a Wash Thing has you covered. Search It's a Wash Thing on Facebook or check the show notes. Right, back to the show. These are 3 questions that we ask every guest that comes onto the Bishop Stortford Community podcast. First question: if you can put one sentence on a billboard in Jackson Square, what would it say, and who needs to hear it the most?
Going by what I just said, it would be afraid, but do it anyway. I think so, 100%. And do you know what? There's another story on my art. Everything's all connected from gym to art, but I made a canvas and I put it on Facebook to sell. It was Be Afraid But Do It Anyway, but it was completely different. And the lady who bought it from me, she was like, I've got cancer, breast cancer. And that just really stands out to me. And I love it so much. And I was like, oh, emotional. But then we followed each other on Instagram and seeing her through recovery and stuff like that. And we still talk about things. And it's, that meant something to me then rather than just a few words. So yeah, be afraid, but do it anyway.
Wonderful. So she's got that kind of hung up in her house.
She has, yeah. And like to know that she said every
Brilliant.
time she was, going through something, and and again, the gym journey has inspired her. So she's now in recovery, and well, she's past recovery now, but she's trying to get back to her healthy body. So she wanted some tips on exercise, and I'm like, you don't need tips off me. I'm definitely not the person for you to be doing anything like this right now, but just start by, taking it easy and going out for walks and things like that. So yeah, being still in touch and learning her journey is meant the words mean more to me than they did before.
Yeah, wonderful. That's a lovely story in all of itself, Chrystal. Okay, question number 2. Where do you go in Stortford that you secretly hope never gets too popular?
You can imagine where mine is. I'm always there. At Grange Paddocks, but it's already way too popular. Like way too popular for me. I have to dodge about 100 people every evening to try and not kick them in the head. So yeah, Grange Paddocks is fun. And Fire and Fitness as well. That's a smaller gym, but I've been there a few times and I love it there. It's very, very community based, and I think they deserve to have a little shout out. But it's really lovely there. I just can't get there in the morning, so it's frustrating.
Are you now you're internet famous? Are you up for people to come up and say, "Go, Chrystal," whilst you're like in the middle of your handstands?
I already get that from half the people. They're like, how do you do that? Oh, can you train me? I'm like, no, sorry. I'm going to have to just get back to it. Yeah, I do actually have people randomly coming up to me and saying, and when I was working in the works for a little while, I loved it there as well, working in there, but I couldn't afford to keep there, unfortunately. Then customers would come up to me like, are you that lady in the gym who does that? And the people I'm working with are like, oh, that's so embarrassing. Yeah. I've already got a little bit of that. But
fantastic. Internet fame. It works.
If it inspires people, I'll take it.
Yeah, 100%. Last question, Chrystal. Who's doing something special in Bishop Stortford that more people need to know about?
I really hope that you know this person. I don't know if you do or not, but Kenny Ward. Do you know Ken Ward? You don't
know Ken Ward.
You will know Ken Ward now. And I hope that he sees this and other people see this on this podcast, because Ken is an absolute legend. He's actually my siblings' father, like their dad. But irrelevant of that, everybody knows Ken in Stortford, apart from you. He's just apart from you, but you will now. He's a referee, and he is in his 70s. He has been refereeing games for the length of all time. I don't even know how long he's been doing it. Probably on about his 20,000th game at this point. And there's so many people that love him, and there's so many people that hate him because he would give them a red card or a yellow card. I think he's just done it for fun. And now he walks from Scott Road, which is like Windhill, to Grange Paddocks nearly every day doing these games, and he carries all the balls on his back and everything. Yeah, he's a legend. And I can't believe he's still doing that now. Amazing.
That's incredible. As you said, like 20,000 games.
I don't know what it is, but it's a lot. It's a lot.
I imagine if you add it all up, if he's doing more than one a day, that's incredible. And the amount of people that he's going to have had an impact on, as you say, people might remember him for him giving them a red card, but actually giving people the opportunity to go and play football over such a long period of time is fantastic. Yeah,
and he used to be a DJ as well. He used to dress up as Elvis, so everybody knew him as Elvis. So yeah, he's quite a character. I think he spends most of his time in Wetherspoons nowadays, but he's just so funny, and yeah, he is a legend around here. I think he's definitely won an award, but I could not shout him out. He would kill me if I didn't shout him out.
Brilliant. Well, people like that add to the community. People that give their time up to go and allow other people to do sports or to play or to create art like what you're doing at the moment, Chrystal. That's what the podcast is all about, shining a light on people like you. So that's been awesome. Where is the best place for people to follow along and get involved with what you're doing, Chrystal?
It's Handstands and Haribo on Instagram. I used to do Facebook. I am on Facebook, but it's generally quite quiet on there. I'm more of an Instagram girl now. So Handstands and Haribo, that's it for now. But I will, as this year goes on, and once I've kind of set my feet at what I'm doing and everything, I've got classes kind of up and running rather than just random workshops that we're sort of trialing. And I will probably make a page that's more dedicated to those. So I'll keep you updated.
Yeah, let me know, and I can share it with the community. Happy.
Thank you.
Chrystal, that's a wrap.
Thanks.
No worries. Thanks for joining us today on the Bishop Stortford Community Podcast.
No worries. And well done to you, because I think it's amazing what you're doing. You know, sharing it. I've already followed a few more people that I didn't know were doing things around Bishop Stortford, that I hadn't even known about, businesses I'd never seen before. So already it's making an impact. So well done to you.
That's really kind. We're early days. We've got big plans about what's going to be happening in 2026. If you enjoyed this episode, the best way to support the show is to do what Chrystal's done. Hit follow, leave a quick review on YouTube, Apple, or Spotify, wherever you watch or listen to the show, and share it on your socials so that more people can get to listen to awesome local legends just like Chrystal. Maybe share it with someone who's not on social media, but you think might be interested in the interviews that we are having on the show. And if you've got a local legend, someone just like Ken, who is throwing out red cards for fun, drop me a message or tag them in the comments below, and I'll hunt them down to try and get them on the show. Love shining a light on people like Ken and Chrystal and Steve, who we need to get on the podcast at some point.
Yes, Steve, you've got to do it now. Hezzy's nominated me. You're going on there next.
Awesome. Chrystal, again, thanks for joining us today on the Bishop Stortford Community Podcast.
No worries. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. If you run a business built on trust, but your website's full of stock photos and silence, we need to talk. True Tone Testimonials helps coaches, consultants, and other service providers turn real client stories into high-converting video content. No scripts, no fluff, just honest words from real people who already love what you do. They're professionally filmed and ready to drop onto your site or into your socials. Head to truetonetestimonials.card.co. Let your clients do the selling. Okay, support local. Let's get back to the show.